Craving to do more reviews and more reviews and more reviews. All right, so what is Craving about? Let's see what IMDb says. A group of drug addicts are besieged by a group of mysterious figures inside a rural bar. As withdrawal starts to set in, a secret one of them is carrying threatens to destroy all of them. Yes, destroy all of them. All right. So I guess the first thing is this is a movie, new movie that we've been shared the press release information at promotehorror.com, and someone involved with the film reached out and asked me to if I could watch and review it. So disclaimer that's where this comes from, and a screener that I was given to watch this film. But again, as always, still going to give an honest review one way or the other. Not promoting it at promotehorror.com, but we shared the information and was asked if we could do a review, so here I am. I will try to remember down below to put a link to information about the film in case you missed it or you're not familiar with it. Anyway, this is, I was just looking at, as I was looking here on IMDb, it's mentioned crime, horror, thriller, and, you kind of get a lot of the crime and thriller part early on. Most of the film that's not flashbacks is set in a bar. You have a bar situation here. You get introduced to some of the characters that are inside this bar. Meet some of them briefly before the chaos kind of starts. They're inside the bar. People are, like I said, you're going to meet some of the characters, see some interaction, and then before you know it, a bunch of people are going to come running into this bar and kind of take it hostage. And so, you're kind of like, okay, this is one of these, we have a gun hostage kind of situation kind of movies and so forth. But the 4 people that come into the bar, there's something, or I think it was like 4 or 5, the group of people that comes in, something's a little bit off about them. They're also not all on the same page. But regardless, they have the upper hand on the people inside the bar. But then you find out also that there's another group of people outside the bar. And, they might be law enforcement, or the people enforcing the law or so forth in this area. And they ultimately have the upper hand here. So you have 3 different groups of people in this movie. The people outside the bar, who have it surrounded, and basically if you go outside, you're not going to make it. Then you have the people that have come into the bar, who these people outside are chasing, and then you have the people that are fairly innocent and just hanging out in the bar and are now caught up in this situation. So you have those kind of 3 groups of people. The people outside the bar make it pretty clear that, hey, we're interested mostly in one of the individuals that have just went into the bar. And, if you kind of turn over that person or let that person come out, they'll let you go. But the people inside, we'll call the people that came into the bar the bad people inside the bar. They tell the other people, the friendly people in the bar, that that's not true. If you go outside, they will more than likely kill you as well, and they'll probably kill everybody that's in this bar. So you have that kind of situation going on. Obviously, the friendlies in the bar want to escape, going to try to escape. Maybe not all believers of the situation, but just not are all capable of putting together a fight against these other people. Like I said, the bad people inside the bar, we'll call them, have some issues. Some of them look like they're, in withdrawal. Something's going on with them. They, as time goes on, they make mention of not having a drug or medicine or something for a time being. I guess the further away they go from not having this medicine, the worse shape they're in. One or two of them are a little bit more in worse shape than the others. There is a girl that there's two or three women in the group, but two of them that seem to be like they like each other, kind of together. And one is definitely kind of more aggressive. The other one really doesn't say anything, but the other one's kind of more aggressive. She's more willing to kind of pick fights with people, even within her own group of people and the friendly people in the bar. She's very aggressive and tries to not be afraid of anybody. There's at least one gun. One of the people has a gun, so they, kind of hold that as the upper hand. And basically, like I said, the people outside are basically giving them about an hour or so to come out. Otherwise, they're going to come in and bad things are going to happen. So then the focus is a lot on the people in the bar. And what the movie then does is you're going to have some interactions between the bad and good people in the bar. And then you're also going to have a series of flashbacks. You're going to see flashbacks of these different characters in the bar and learn a little bit about them. I'll say that, maybe, it's necessary to learn about some of those characters, maybe not all those characters, kind of how they interact, how they've gotten all caught up in this. So they are going to show you a mix of the different people here and their backstories. So you're going to kind of have to pay attention to who they were, because this is going to flash back to a previous time, showing where they were and their connection to some of the other people they're around, whether it be the people outside or the people inside, or even the friendly people that were inside. You're going to learn a little bit about some of them as well. So you're going to see kind of how some of these people relate and why they're ultimately going to get there. So it is a little mysterious, and they're going to kind of hint at something, but you're really not sure what they're hinting at and what the ultimate problem is here. And I don't want to be complete spoiler here, but yeah, they are hinting at something. As you're kind of watching this, you might be like, what is happening? Why are they making us kind of go through all these flashbacks and so forth? What is the end game here? What is everybody waiting? It's basically a giant waiting game. You as the audience, you're waiting to see where this is going to go. The people outside are waiting for the people inside to come out. The people inside, the bad people at least, are waiting to see if they can tame down their withdrawal and kind of prevent them from whatever's going to happen. And then obviously the people the friendly people inside the bar are just waiting for a chance to get out and hopefully get out safely. So you might get a little lost there in some of the flashbacks. I admit it is a bit much, and it is a little it does get a little tiring. They try to mix it up as much as possible between some interaction that's going on between the people in the bar, a little bit of interaction with the people outside the bar, but not as much. But you're gonna, that formula is gonna kind of go on and on. And then as a horror fan, a horror aspect of it, you're just kind of, waiting. You're waiting. You're like, what is ultimately going to be the deal? Are these people going to come in? Is it just going to be a giant shootout? There's really been no grand attempt for anybody inside the bar to really get outside the bar, except for right in the opening, which didn't go so well. So from a horror fan perspective, you're going to do a lot of waiting, and there's going to be just a lot of they're going to fill you in. Like I said, you're going to have to put little pieces together of some of these backstories and where it's going to go. I will say that the final act, I want to be kind of spoiler free here, new movie. The final act is finally going to give you the horror. So if you can wait through some of these flashbacks and everything that's going to happen, like I said, there's going to be, a little bit of action. There's going to be a fight here, fight there. Somebody gets pretty brutally shot early in the movie. But if you kind of wait through all that, the final act is finally going to give you horror. I don't want to give it away. I'll let you guys watch that for yourself. I will say that it finally gets bloody and messy, and probably everything as a horror fan that you kind of waited for throughout the whole movie, and wondering where is my true horror in this movie. It finally happens. I would say I didn't quite expect that to happen. Like I said, they kind of hint at you that something is going to happen, or something strange is happening, or will happen. Didn't quite expect it to be on that level of it. But if you're a horror fan who likes kind of blood and guts and that kind of thing, I think you'll enjoy the ending. Most of it seemed to be practical to me. So if you like practical effects and that kind of thing, I think you'll enjoy that. And then even, again, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil exactly what happens there. It is, a little bit sad and touching as well. But there's plenty of blood and all that mess that you want to enjoy and have and stuff like that. I will say that when the movie ends and you basically see it end, as a horror fan, they're going to make something very clear that when the movie supposedly ends, it's not really over, and the movie is then going to proceed to have a credit. The credits are going to start rolling, but then have some more fun during the credits. So I will say, definitely stay tuned. When the movie seems like it hits the opening credit and you're like, okay, don't turn it off. If you enjoyed kind of what you just saw in the final act, it will kind of continue as the credits roll. So enjoy that as well until it's really over, and then once it's really over, then you can turn it off. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing here is that this movie is in no hurry to kind of get to the horror. You're going to have to wait. If you're interested in kind of putting the mystery together and so forth, you can really concentrate on a lot of those flashbacks and how these characters interact and whatever. For some, that might not cut it for you, but like I said, if you do like blood and guts and that kind of thing, you should at least enjoy the final act of this movie, because that's what it's going to get to. So yeah, I guess that's really what it boils down to. As a horror fan and so forth, this movie really boils down to that final act, and then, like I said, the ending credits. So all of that was fun. I really enjoyed that part of it. The rest of it was interesting at times, but I thought it was a little much. It doesn't say here how long it was, but I think they were just biding their time until they just slapped you with a good taste of horror there in the end. Is kind of the best way to explain it. So take that for what it is. And like I said, how much you really get involved with any of the characters or not, if you end up wanting to root for any of them or not, but yeah, it is going to be messy at the end, which was fun. It was fun when that finally happened. I was finally at peace. So with that, I'm going to give it 2.5 pools of blood. Like I said, strong final act, strong ending credits. Everything before that, is okay. It's just a lot of setup before you get to the really, really good stuff. The stuff as a horror fan you want to see. So yeah, 2.5 pools of blood out of 5. If we had seen more of maybe that stuff that happened at the end scattered earlier in the film, I guess there would be no mystery, but maybe knowing me, I probably would have given it a little bit more, but a little impatient at times and so forth, and I want to get to the blood and guts much sooner. But still, I think it's worth watching, and hopefully, if you're into that kind of thing, you will enjoy at least what they're going to give you in the end of this movie. So with that, that's 2.5 pools of blood out of 5, and horrorsquarereviews.blogspot.com is down below, and where you can find all of my reviews, written and video. If not, subscribe to the channel if you're just interested in the video reviews. Like, notification, subscribe, all that kind of thing that everybody tells you to do. If not, no problem, no worries. Twitter, Facebook information down below as well, and both on the channel and there on social media, trying to keep you guys entertained with other stuff besides reviews. So feel free to try to enjoy some of that as well. And of course, down in the comment section, if you do end up catching this movie, definitely would like to know your thoughts on what kind of happens at the end, and if you really enjoyed that as much as I did. And definitely really enjoyed that credit kind of scene. I like when they do stuff during credits and just don't roll names up there, and it's just a continuing of the fun. So if you enjoyed that as much as I do, feel free to throw that in the comment section as well. So with that, I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.